Hey guys, welcome to Rudra Tech tutorial, and objective of this video is to understand what is Angular architecture. Well, Angular architecture contains several parts, and in this video we are going to see them one by one. The first part in the Angular architecture is module. Angular applications are modular in nature. This modularity is maintained by Angular modules or ng modules. There is at least one module, that is the root module, present within the Angular application with @ng module decorator. The decorator is the metadata about the class of the module. Then a root module can have several library modules. Now the library modules are the module which have features of framework that will help you to build the application, and it can have several feature modules as well. Now the feature modules are the modules created by the developers to divide the features of application into smaller parts. Then comes the component. The component consists of 4 parts. The first is TypeScript class. The TypeScript class will contain properties and methods of a component. And the next part is the metadata. The metadata is nothing but @component decorator. This will annotate the class with metadata and adds more information about the class. Then comes the template. The template will contain the HTML part of the component that is visible to the users or viewed by the users. Then there is data binding. Well, data binding is a way to flow the data between the template and the component. And there are several types of data binding like property binding, one-way binding, two-way binding, interpolation, and event binding. We will be seeing these property bindings in detail when we go through the topic of data binding. The component controls the view part. As I earlier said, it is the part which is viewed by the user. Then each application will have at least one component and can have many components as the developer wants. Then the next part is services and dependency injection. The services is a class with a well-defined purpose, and in Angular the service class is preceded by @injectable decorator. Well, the services will keep the part of component code lean and focused on the view part, and it also performs several different utility tasks such as logging the request, AJAX request, sharing data, and so on. Then is dependency injection. The DI is a way to supply the instances of a class with fully formed dependencies it requires. That means if you want a class ready to use within your component, the dependency injection will provide it ready-made with all the dependencies of the required class. So you don't have to worry and create a services class and look after its dependencies as well. The dependency injection will do it for you and provide you a ready to use instance of a class. The dependency injection is auto-wired into Angular using injector, and this injector maintains the service instances and also creates the service instances from providers. We'll be also seeing in detail about this service in future videos. Then the next part in the Angular architecture are the directives. Directive is a class with the @decorator. The directive play an important role in managing the structure of the template within a component, and a component is also a directive with the template. That is, the class with the @directive will not have its own template, but a component, it's also a directive, will have its own template. Angular resolves the directives and its binding syntax in the template to modify the HTML and the DOM. This will help us to structure the HTML information as we want. It will help us not only to add, modify or delete certain part of HTML, and that is done using directives. There are two main types of directives. The first one is the structural directive, which will help you to change the structure of the template or the HTML, and second are the attribute directives, which will help us to set the values of the attributes present with the HTML tag. So this is the overall architecture of the Angular, which will have modules, components, services with injector and directives with metadata. We'll be studying Angular with all these component parts in detail in future videos. Thank you for watching this video. If you have liked this video, please comment, do like it and do subscribe. Thank you.